What's up, y'all? I saw an interesting interview with boxer Danny Garcia and his dad, and they were saying that boxers are doing too much sparring and too much sparring ruins careers. And, you know, I know some of the best fighters do spar a lot, but someone had put in the comments that Sugar Ray Robinson only sparred like 2 times a week. But then someone else said in the comments that's because he was having so many fights. I think at one point he had like 20 fights in one calendar year. So that's a lot of fights. That's a lot of wear and tear on the body. If you're having 20 fights in a year, you don't want to spar that much. But if you're having like maybe 1 to 2 fights, what seems to be what's happening now, unless you're Keith Thurman, then you might want to get into some more sparring. Because you just want to make sure you're sharp on fight night, but you don't want to spar to the point where like you're going all out every session. You know, your sparring doesn't have to be a war every time. But I just thought it was an interesting topic from Danny Garcia and his dad talking about fighters are sparring too much. In fact, Danny Garcia's dad was talking about how they'll start off with like 2 days sparring and then they gradually work their way up the closer they get to the fight. I know Emmanuel Stewart and probably most trainers don't have their fighters sparring the last week leading up to the fight, though. So I think James Toney, that could be the reason why James Toney, his speech isn't the best right now. And that could be because I understand James Toney did a whole lot of sparring. And, he can hardly speak clearly at this point. He just had a fight with Razor Ruddock, too, not too long ago. So, like I said, every sparring session doesn't have to be a war. Occasionally, you're going to want to test yourself. I think Danny Garcia's dad was saying towards the end they'll have one sparring where it's 10 rounds and then 12 and then that's it. They want to simulate the fight, and that's what you want to do occasionally. You want to simulate the fight, so when it's fight night, you're not overwhelmed like, hey, man, I didn't train for a 12-round fight. So you want to treat every fight like it's a tough fight. You don't want to overlook anybody because the minute you overlook somebody, you're probably going to get stopped. So you don't want to overlook anybody. You might want to have a sparring session where it's just body shots, a sparring session where you're working on defense, a sparring session where you work on just your jab or your overhand right, your uppercut. You might want to have a sparring session where you practice listening to your trainer. A lot of fighters are hear what their trainer said and then go right out and do the opposite. Andrew Galata against Riddick Bowe. No punches below the belt. Goes right out. Boom. Take that, Riddick. So go check it out. I'm sorry I forget the platform that Danny Garcia and his dad were on, but it was very interesting, their take on fighters sparring too much. And some fighters have extra long training camps too, So I think it's important to stay in the gym because boxing doesn't have an off season. So stay in the gym, just know how to pace yourself, but always train, always train. And thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. Go subscribe to my son's platform, Linux Roos. It's a gaming channel, but I'm hoping that his platform changes more into giving you sports news because he knows a lot about sports, especially football. So go check that out, and appreciate everybody that tuned into my live stream about Matchroom versus Queensberry 5 versus 5. Really excited about that. The closer we get to that night of fights with Beterbiev and Bivol on the main event, I'll be doing tons of videos about that, hopefully. So look out for that. And like I said, thanks for everybody that came through on the live stream. Bruce Gass, Bon Scott, and some other, Adore, all of you came through. My son, Lennox Roos. Appreciate you all. Mr. Prodigal. And had some great, we always have fantasy fights that we would have liked to see, and that's always interesting to play around with. And if you wish to become a member, make sure you join either bronze, silver, or gold. You'll get, like I keep saying, you'll get special videos and live streams that I don't do regularly, and you'll get your comments answered first. You'll get a badge. You'll get all types of perks, and that's if you choose to. If you choose to hit up the Cash App, it's $JRoos33. Thanks for watching. comment, share, subscribe. LSR forever. Oh, that wasn't loud enough. Be fearless. Yay, yay.